Now, here's
Mike Avery.
Well, thank you, Ken Hunter, for that introduction, and welcome to another edition of the Outdoor Magazine Show right here on the Outdoor Magazine Radio Network. So glad to have you along with us, and so glad, Pat, to have my voice back. After 2 weeks here in the studio of barely being able to talk and feeling like crud, whatever that stuff was, has finally worked its way out of my system. 90%. I'm 90% back to health, and it feels good. And it's nice to be able to talk because that's pretty much what I do for a living these days. So anyway, glad to have you along with us. What's the big news in the outdoors right now? Well, as we are recording this show, the weather looks like we've got a beautiful stretch of weather coming in. And you know what? I'm ready for it. I've got spring fever so bad I absolutely can't stand it. I'm looking forward to springtime. I'm looking forward to some nice weather. Have you noticed how much longer the days are? It's getting light earlier. It's staying light later in the evening. I am absolutely ready for springtime. Now, my friends listening to us in the UP are saying, Avery, what are you talking about? It's going to be a long time before we see springtime. And I get that. I understand that. But still, there's hope on the horizon, right? It gives us something to look forward to. In fact, tomorrow, as we're recording the show, tomorrow I'm heading over to the Angler Quest plant, the Apex Marine plant in St. Louis, Michigan, to look at the new Angler Quest I'll be running for this summer. I talked to Brad Dupuy the other day. It's almost built. I'm going to go over there, take some pictures of it, maybe even shoot some video. You can see those pictures on the Outdoor Magazine Facebook page, facebook.com/Outdoor Magazine, to see what it is I'm talking about and why I am always so excited about these boats. I was at the Birch Run Show last weekend. They had a couple of Angler Quests there. And it really got me excited to get out there and do some open water trolling. My boat's going to be done early this year. The marina where I keep my boat will not open up early enough for me, so I haven't talked with the folks at Linwood Beach, but I'm going to see if I can drop the Angler Quest in there for a few weeks until my marina opens up, because I want to take advantage of the early season open water trolling. I think there's no hotter walleye fishery in North America probably this year than Saginaw Bay. I'm not an ice fisherman. I used to be. I just can't get excited about it these days, but I can get excited about being out there on open water. I forgot to mention last week that they drew the winners for the Pure Michigan Hunt. Now, you might remember, I'm a big fan of the Pure Michigan Hunt. I think the Pure Michigan Hunt is the best deal out there. The winners get a bull elk tag, they get a bear tag, they get a turkey tag, they get preferential treatment at the managed waterfowl areas. They get a whole bunch of gear, thousands of dollars worth of gear. But of course, the two things I would be most excited about would be the elk tag. And it's not just any elk tag. It's for any season, any animal, which means it's a bull tag, and a bear tag for any area, any season. And I was convinced I was going to win it. I knew in my heart this year that I was going to win the Pure Michigan Hunt, and I knew it would cause me some grief because people would say, oh, it's rigged, yada, yada, yada. Well, I never had to worry about it because I forgot to enter the Pure Michigan Hunt. So I didn't win. You know who did win, though? Don Rademacher of Lake Odessa, Jim Tilton from Elma, and Amy Ornatowski from Tawas. They won, so congrats to them. And Amy has already said she's going to give the hunts to her husband, Kevin. You might know Kevin's name. He's a hunting guide and used to have, what was it, a Sable canoe livery? I think that's the name. If not, I apologize. So that's the cool thing about the Pure Michigan Hunt is you can gift your tags to others. So I'm really disappointed that I didn't enter. So I didn't win. We're giving away, along with our friends from Michigan Brand Meats, Easter ham. Before Christmas, we gave away ham for the holidays. We did that every Wednesday night on our Facebook Live events. Now we're doing it during Lent. We're giving away an Easter ham every Wednesday night on the Facebook page during our Wednesday night live segments. Those start every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. Encourage you to join us. All you have to do is log in to the Outdoor Magazine Facebook page. By the way, if you have not liked that page, I would encourage you to do so. Keep an eye on the page. A lot of cool things happen there. I do live Facebook feeds there at least twice a week, every Wednesday morning at 8:45 from the radio studio and every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock from my studio, my office at the house. I did do a Facebook Live last Saturday from the Birch Run show. I was at the Vanguard booth. I was there with Tom Beecher talking about some of the great deals they had. Again, I got to see the Angler Quest, talk to my friends from Linwood Beach Marina. Dart and Archery was there. I got to go over there and talk to those guys. Lure Lipstick was there, but I didn't know it until it was too late, so I didn't get to see them. And, of course, this weekend is the Deer and Turkey Expo in Lansing. So don't forget about that. If you're looking for something to do this weekend, head down there. I will not be at that show after being tied up for the last couple of weekends. I want to take care of some family activities, and I'm going to do just that. Reminder, too, that Wednesday nights is our next Wednesday Night Live segment at Oscar and Joey's Roadhouse. Dixie Dave's Oscar and Joey's Roadhouse. That'll be at 7 o'clock. Love to have you join us. You'll need reservations because we always fill up. Call the restaurant. It's Oscar and Joey's Roadhouse. It's the Old Dixie Inn Restaurant, 989-624-9349. Or perhaps easier, send me an email to Mike at MikeAveryOutdoors.com, Mike at MikeAveryOutdoors.com, and I will send you the information, give you that phone number, so you don't have to memorize it or try to write it down right now. But that's Wednesday night, Oscar and Joey's Roadhouse, for our next Wednesday Night Live at Dixie Dave's. That's always a lot of fun. We give away some great prizes. Dixie Dave always gives away a couple of meals. He cooks them for us on camera and then gives them away to somebody there. And it's just a great time to get together with fellow like-minded people, fellow hunters and anglers, folks who love the outdoors and love some great wild game. So that's Wednesday night, 7 o'clock at Oscar and Joey's Roadhouse. I do have some really sad news to report, though. Ron Pitsley, the guy who started Hunter's Niche Archery, Predator Recurves, I've known Ron since he was at Dart and Archery more than 25 years ago. And I ran into him a couple of weeks ago at our outdoor expo in West Branch. I hadn't seen him for a while, but it was wonderful to talk to Ron. We caught up a little bit. We talked about traditional archery and some of the challenges of that from a business perspective and the thrill of trying to master, though you can never master, traditional archery. Ron and I promised to stay in touch. The next day, Ron had a brain aneurysm. He never regained consciousness, and he died a week later. So this is a very sad loss for the outdoor industry in general, the world of archery, the world of traditional archery. Of course, my thoughts and prayers go out to Ron's family and his friends and everybody there at Hunter's Niche Archery. Ron's about my age. He was about my age. So this, I'm getting to the age where I see things like this. It really hits home, and you think, man, when it's your time, it's your time. You can try to live a healthy lifestyle, lose weight, get in shape, whatever. But when your time is up, it's up. So what is the moral of this sad story? I think it's to try to do everything you can while you're here. And Ron certainly did. I mean, he and his partner, Mike Hoadley. And by the way, I had Mike Hoadley. I talked to Ron Saturday. That following Monday, I thought, you know what? I want to get somebody from Hunter's Niche on the radio show to talk about traditional archery. I called up to the shop. I said, is Ron there? No, Ron's not available, but Mike can talk to you. I talked to Mike. He said, I'd be happy to do the show. But at that time, Mike couldn't say anything about Ron's situation or condition. So I feel bad now that I even put Mike in that situation. I had him on the show. I was talking about Ron. I was talking about the business. I was talking about Hunter's Niche and Predator Recurves, and I didn't know anything that was going on. So that was, after the fact, that was very awkward, and I have to apologize for Mike for that. I've talked to him since then. He said, hey, I couldn't say anything, and I get it. I get it. But, take advantage. My dad always used to say this. He always used to say, look, do things while you're young enough and healthy enough to get out and do them. And he could see, he knew he had arthritis bad. He knew his health was going to go downhill. And even when he was in his 40s and 50s, he knew that his time of being able to be physically active was going to be limited. And he knew, looking down the road, that he wasn't going to be able to get out physically and do some of the things that he wanted. And he always encouraged me. He said, do these things while you're young enough and healthy enough that you can actually take advantage of it. And when I see a situation like Ron's, it's like, it just reminds me all the more. What are you waiting for, right? What are you waiting for? Now is the time to do these things. And I'm looking at it from a life perspective, but for the purposes of this show, from an outdoor hunting and fishing perspective. Why would you wait another year to schedule that dream fishing trip you've been dreaming about for years? The salmon charter you want to take that you've been talking about with your family, you've been wanting to get the kids, the grandkids, your wife, your kids, whoever out there, your friends, business associates, whoever. You've been talking about this, but you haven't pulled the trigger on it. Well, why? What are you waiting for? Do it. Do it now while you have the chance. Do it now while you're still physically able. Do it now while you're still here. Yes, look, you're busy with work. You're busy with family. You're busy with kids. Maybe financially you're not in the position that you would like to be before you do some of these things, but what are you waiting for? When is it going to get better? Do it now. Take that fishing trip up into Ontario. Schedule that bear hunting trip. Go out west. Put in your food plots. Hunt here in Michigan. Do the springtime turkey hunt. Get out walleye fishing. Book that salmon charter. Take the family on that camping trip. Take the family on that Michigan vacation. All these things that you've been talking about and dreaming about and thinking, you know what, we're going to do that. We're going to do that one of these days. Well, there's no guarantee that there's going to be one of these days. So do it. Take advantage of the opportunities you have while you have them. And Ron did. Ron Pitsley certainly did that. So just wanted to mention his passing, and he was a great man and a big loss to our industry. So we will move on from there. We'll take a break here in the Outdoor Magazine Show. When we come back, R.J. Meyer of the Trophy Room Taxidermy Studio, and then Alan Getz from Michigan Buckpole coming up in the first hour of this week's Outdoor Magazine.